All right, welcome to the OYC Podcast. It's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we last sent out a podcast, but the fucking end of the world happened. We got fucking nuked by the Russian bots. Our Obama drones could not defend us. And now we're living in a post-apocalyptic United States of America. Thanks, Trump. Thanks. I always said it would happen. Thanks. Anyways, I'm the last surviving member of the OYC crew. Of course, the main guy had to eke it out and survive that so he could still bring you the best podcast on YouTube. And I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna be doing this by myself now. I still got the soundboard, so I can probably just make conversations with the soundboard.
The reason why I'm not eating my own mattress is because I ate my mattress already.
Exactly, and I guess it's kind of lonely, but I think I'll be able to make it, and I think I'll be able to beat Joe Rogan out now that he's dead. But oh wait, hold on 1 second. We're getting a transmission in into my in my radio here. It's who state your business? Who is this?
You didn't know. Andrew, aka Cell Waters, is a survivor of this post-apocalyptic society. So I'm here.
Shit, dude, you're alive. Oh fuck.
Yes, I am.
Oh wait. That's not the... There we go. You're alive. Oh my god, dude, it's a miracle. Holy shit. Well, good to have you on the podcast. Glad to hear you're alive, that you seeked shelter in a bunker somewhere. When are we going to start rebuilding? Who knows? But you're listening to the OYC Podcast, guys, and it's real hot and it's heavy. If you're still alive out there, go to the OYC Patreon, donate $2. Get you an extra episode of the podcast every week, exclusive to Patreon. All right, let's start the show, ladies and gentlemen. How you been, Andrew? How's it been going?
Very good. Thanks for asking. How have you been,
Tyler? Not too bad. Can't complain. Before this apocalypse, I was just kind of like chilling and getting the usual done. Just been working jobs and shit, which is no fun. Nobody likes to work a job. That's what it ain't, as my man Andrew here would say.
Hopefully both of us can, eventually make money, you from the podcast, me from my whatever I do, and hopefully you won't have to work that job one day,
Yeah. I was thinking something you might want to try out. Have you heard of Cameo?
I have not.
So it's a website where, like, I think mostly celebrities and fucking people use it, but I've seen, like, internet people use it too. But it's like a website where someone can basically pay you an amount of money to make a video message, and I feel like your format kind of fits that kind of thing.
The big man Tyrone, you pay him, he'll say whatever you want him to say on...
Yeah, I think that guy started out on Fiverr, which is like a similar, you pay $5, do whatever. But like this is a whole site just dedicated to that concept, I guess. And I think... I'm
not a monkey. I'm not gonna...
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I guess people would get you to say some wacky stuff that you don't necessarily agree with.
Exactly.
Like, 6 million, maybe a little bit too high of a number. I don't know. But, yeah. No.
How have you been? Up to anything really exciting? Like, besides work, you doing anything fun?
I am wrapping up my second album for my music project, Databend. Cool. If nobody's ever checked it out, go check out Databend. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll find it. It's my music project that I do in my spare time, and it's good stuff, and I'm finishing up the second album now, and it's going to be real good. I got my mix master guy working on it now, finishing up the final details. I also started vaping CBD oil to help with my chronic pain issues, but also to quit the old cigarettes, and I'm over 2 weeks so far
Good luck. It's not hard. It's not hard to quit. It's hard to quit an addiction. So I hope you do. I hope you conquer it.
Yeah, I want to try and get addicted to heroin next. I feel like it'd be more of a challenge. And I'm always looking for a challenge. I'm a motivated person, and I'm willing to take on the task.
Exactly.
Have you seen Artie Lang's nose?
I have not. I know he's getting into constant legal trouble, which is bad.
Yeah, but look up if you have access on your computer. Look up Artie Lang's nose 2019.
What's wrong with his nose?
Well, from all the years of doing from snorting heroin and cocaine, it's like his septum or something is collapsed and inflated in a crazy, he has a completely smooshed, almost like a deformed pug nose.
That's pretty sad. At least he's still alive, though.
Surprisingly enough. Sorry, say that again. I cut you out at the end there.
Did he get pretty scared there for a while? People thought he was going to pass away any day, and now he's at least he's doing well now, sort of, right?
Yeah, I think the last I heard of him, he's in jail rehab. He violated his parole or something, and now he's in a jail rehab.
That's not good. Yeah, I don't know Artie Lang, but I wish the best for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think if you could turn your life around, that would be great. For sure.
Exactly.
Or just, keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you've already lived longer than a lot of people. So,
Yep.
I don't know.
It's not black and white. Sometimes, but yeah, I think being a good role model, drug-free, substance-free is the way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, the whole, straight edge... the skater punks had it right. Keep it straight edge. I always found it weird that there's a whole straight edge movement in skaters and punks. It's you seem like you would be doing that.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they're just trying to be I don't know.
It's the exact counterculture to it, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to create a podcast called Counterculture where we always have the differing opinion from everybody else. That would be sick.
It would. It definitely would.
You wanted to pitch a show to Fox News called Counterculture? It'll be me and you.
Let's do it. Let's start a sitcom.
No, like a news show like Red Eye where we bring in people and then just disagree with anything they say.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Or maybe Counterpoint would be a good. Devil's Advocate, I don't know. We got a few ideas. This is called a think tank. For those of you that don't live in Silicon Valley, this is what's called a think tank. Just spitting ideas around. shooting the old shit there.
Just out of curiosity, have you been watching my channel, following me on Twitter or anything like that, or you have been pretty busy with your life?
I've been pretty busy lately, but I do check in on your channel every now and then because it's one of the few channels. I have a personal YouTube account, but on my On Your Computer account, I'm subscribed. You're one of the few channels subscribed on there, so I see. My feed is usually your videos, so every other day I'll check in and see a few things. I was also catching up last night too because I knew I was going to have you on today. But
what have you seen?
I thought the video "Losers" was pretty funny, where you're just calling everybody from your high school fucking losers because it's you're normally not so expletive, and then there's just a video where you're like, "Fuck them, dude, fucking pieces of shit." I thought it was funny.
I tend to get, sorry, I tend to get pretty worked up sometimes, and then after making the video, I'm like, I was getting carried away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. After you calm down and you got that out, you're like, shit, dude, what was I saying there?
Exactly.
But I think it's cool that you still upload it and keep it out there because you're like, well, it's what I did, and now it's out there.
To be honest with you, I kind of don't want to take down anything, but sometimes you might have crossed the line. I don't know what. Okay.
Yeah, because I just started doing actual videos again a few days ago, and I just want to upload a bunch of dumb videos, even if I don't necessarily think they're like the funniest thing or like aren't completely thought out, because I just want to start throwing stuff at the wall. And I think maybe like you probably gave me a little bit of inspiration for that, because you really just throw it all at the wall, which is respectable.
I inspired you.
Yes, sir.
So I was listening to our previous podcast, and I'm constantly talking over you, and I'm trying to make a conscious effort not to do that this time, but I still keep doing it, so sorry.
No, I'm doing it too as well, and what makes it worse on my end is that like when I talk over you, it cuts you out on Discord. And there, there's always a delay with a voice program over the internet, but we're easing through it.
We are
going with the flow. But I was gonna say that what was I gonna say? I also saw your video on Valentine's Day. It seemed like you had a pretty bad one there.
Valentine's Day is a reminder that, if you're single and you haven't really been in a relationship in years, it's kind of a reminder that, I'm getting bad echo. I'm sorry. But
you're good.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. I'll try and turn.
I'm gonna get a different pair of headphones. Just give me two seconds, all right?
Gotcha. I'll play the theme song. I'll do the theme song while you do that.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, I'm back.
Happy birthday to you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Welcome to the OYC Podcast. The last surviving podcast in the post-apocalyptic USA. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Valentine's Day, if you're single and you haven't been in a relationship in years, is kind of like, damn it, everybody's out having fun besides me. So, that's kind of how I felt on Valentine's Day.
It's like being a diabetic kid on Halloween.
Exactly. I was like a diabetic kid, only the diabetes I had was single lifestyle,
That's that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I also what else did I see? I see you got a bunch of videos where you're getting bullied by a traffic cone, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I just went into the park, found a traffic cone, and just started throwing it around and making videos.
That's fucking throwing it at the wall, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know if you saw, in one of them, a woman actually came up to me and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing? I don't judge." So I actually got people interacting with me on camera.
Dude, that's fucking cool. Like, if you could just go to the park and then gradually have more and more people like join in on the videos, and then you just have like a series of videos with all these people from the park.
Yeah, but you gotta get like letters of permission, like, "Oh, I want to appear on your channel." Most people wouldn't give like that type of thing,
Yeah, I guess I don't know if that's the legal thing you have to do, because I've filmed in public and totally not done that, but I don't know if I, morally probably didn't do the right thing, but I mean, you can't always track everybody down and be like, yo, I guess you would just censor their face then, but that's already like too much work for the idea.
Yeah, good point.
Let's see here. What's your question for you? What's your biggest inspiration as of late?
My biggest inspiration?
Yeah, anything that's inspired you lately? You've seen a flick or listened to a...
I've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd music, so...
Nice.
I don't know if that's really an inspiration, but I'm listening to a lot of Pink Floyd.
What's your favorite Pink Floyd album there? Because I've only really extensively listened to the Dark Side and the Wall. The one. I don't
know if you're familiar with the Syd Barrett era, the early stuff, but I was listening to a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of. I'm familiar with their history and Syd Barrett, and they were like kind of a different band before he kind of went cuckoo nuts, went Looney Tunes brains. But is it that much different than like the kind of psychedelic stuff that they were more known for?
Yeah, the material is entirely different. I thought his contributions to A Saucer Full of Secrets were pretty interesting. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but they were called Vegetable Man, Scream Thy Last Scream, and Jug Band Blues. Check them out if you ever get the chance.
What is it? Is this a side project or the same? Is this a Pink Floyd album?
I guess he was getting pretty crazy at the time, and I guess I don't. Just check out the songs when you get the chance.
Yeah, his whole story is pretty interesting from what I read. Where he just kind of slowly slipped out, and then I think it was while they were recording "Wish You Were Here" or something like that. He just like popped in like after like a decade and looked completely different. Just
hey, you don't know how much of that is sensational and like
yeah,
kind of like
totally, because I don't necessarily they probably were like, oh dude, we can use this.
And maybe Syd Barrett just didn't want to tour with the band, and he was in on the whole thing. He's like, all right, create an album about me.
Yeah, if you give me a cut of the royalties, you can use the I went crazy thing.
Exactly. So maybe the whole thing was just calculated. I think I read on Wikipedia that he had schizophrenia, but then again, he was using a lot of drugs. So I don't know what the story is, but
yeah, and he's doing that '60s acid, so that was like the real stuff. Speaking of that acid stuff, I think I talked about it on a podcast earlier, but I watched Mandy with Nicolas Cage, and that's a really good trippy movie. It's like an LSD cult like kidnaps Nicolas Cage's wife that he just like lives in the mountains with, and it's kind of like a horror movie at first, and then it turns into John Wick. It's fucking good, dude.
Maybe I'll have to check it out. I'm unfamiliar with it.
I don't know if you're into like super violent revenge films, but it's like directed very well. Very good movie. Very trippy.
Check it out. Probably not, but I'll say I'll check it out.
Yeah, just say for the show that we'll check it out. I think it's funny on like shows when they have like a guest on, and it's like, this probably happened more with like radio shows where they have like an author on and they're like, I read 2 pages of your book and I don't really know anything about you, but can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Exactly. You have to pretend like you're familiar with their work, but it doesn't always happen,
Yeah, totally.
The reason why I'm not eating my own mattress.
Sorry, that's my cousin.
It's okay.
Let's see here. So I got a few news articles here. I haven't read through any of them, but the headlines caught my eye, and that's all anybody does is read the headlines. Am I right? So the first one we got here is Kevin Spacey's brother fears he'll commit suicide over sexual allegations.
That's pretty horrible.
Yeah. It's just Kevin Spacey's brother is like, yeah, dude, he's gonna kill himself, man. That's like who reported this?
I know.
That's fucking nuts.
It is.
Let's see here. He said, I'm worried about him committing suicide, but then you have to think, nah, he's too narcissistic. He probably won't do that, he explained. But you'd be surprised what people will do when they're faced with the truth and they can't deal with it. All your money isn't going to cure your damaged soul. Holy shit.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, I think he's like, yo, dude, you gotta admit you did it, I think is his angle. Which, I don't know, the Kevin Spacey thing is like pretty like, I don't even know.
You got to take into consideration what you're reading too. Is this like real journalism? Is it fake news? Is it, I don't know what.
This is from filmnews.co.uk, so I can't speak to their validity.
So I read a professional wrestler, I think his name is EC3. He said, I just take everything I read on the internet as fact, and I make it like a passionate rant about, I don't know, I can't read.
So he chooses to believe everything's like true.
It's a joke, but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking funny. I like that. Like, you just read, fucking fish oil makes your penis bigger, and you're like, yep, I believe it. All right, time to get a fucking 8-incher. Here I come.
Hey, I'm going to give you an example of that. So there's this professional wrestler announcer, Corey Graves, and it was reported that he had an affair with Carmella, who's one of the women wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's cheating on his wife. He has kids, and then you find out they've been broken up for like 6 months. But everybody's like calling him a monster and a horrible person. So, you have to wait till more information comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. And speaking of that, I also have this in my notes here is the Jussie Smollett thing. Have you heard about this yet? It's kind of the big thing this week. This actor on this show Empire, I'm sure everybody listening to this knows the story, but gay black actor on the show claimed, this happened like a few weeks ago, claimed that at like 2 a.m. in Chicago, 2 white dudes wearing MAGA hats jumped him, beat him up, put a noose around his neck, and poured bleach on him, and they screamed, "This is MAGA country." He went to the police with all this. There was like a huge outcry of support for him, like all kinds of celebrities like Stephen Colbert and Ellen Page and shit. Were like, yo, this is horrible, this happens in this country. And then I think it came out like 2 or 3 days ago, because a lot of people online were like, yo, this sounds fishy, this doesn't like make sense or add up, and people were just getting called racist if you questioned it at all, more or less. And now it's official from the Chicago Police Department that he did in fact fabricate the attack, and like they know, like he paid two Nigerian dudes who were like on the show with him to like beat him up and then like stage this whole thing for one reason or another. They're not exactly sure why yet, but he's like getting charged with a felony now, I believe.
That's horrible.
For like wasting police resources and all that. And it's kind of crazy to see a case of this where, like, as people are always like, oh, fake news, that's bullshit, that's crazy. And it's like, no, this is, like, legitimate, like, this was fake news. Like, people were, like, feverish about it. They're like, this is nuts that this happens.
It's really nuts. And yeah, it's not a good thing,
Yeah, I would say that it's not very good for a lot of reasons. But I just thought it was interesting because I was like, oh, there's no way people are gonna fucking, like, once it comes out that he lied, like, it's just gonna get buried and people are gonna forget about it. And it's actually pretty big news, and everybody's like, oh, fuck that guy. It's like nuts.
Well, it sounds like a pretty hardcore story. I'm sorry, I'm not into pop culture. I don't really follow anything. I just kind of like.
You just stay off the grid. Well, not that we're really gonna need pop culture in this post-apocalyptic United States, but this Jussie Smollett guy got blown up by the bomb anyway, so I don't know. Like, people probably aren't even pissed about it anymore. Let's see here. Is there anything you want to rant about? Is there anything that's been grinding your gears lately here?
Are you fascinated by psychiatry like I am?
I am. I don't know if I'd say fascinated, but I have been battling with getting a therapist for a bit, and I keep not doing it out of laziness or but like I do think I need therapy.
Yeah, I highly recommend therapy. I've been in it for years in somewhat form, and it's fun in my opinion.
So in psychiatry is basically just a therapist that can prescribe you drugs.
I'm talking about the CBT psychiatry, the psychiatry where you actually talk about it. That's what I was referring to, or like a psychologist. Obviously, nobody wants to take wants to take medication. They realize the need for it, but I don't think anybody is like thrilled, like, oh, I got to take medicine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I actually because I have I was at the doctor's a few weeks ago, and was telling, this is just my general practitioner, doctor, whatever you call him, and I was telling them about how I've been bummed out and shit lately, and like after saying like two things, she was like, "Oh, do you want a prescription of Lexapro? I can put you on Lexapro." And like I took the prescription, but I haven't filled it yet because it's like I don't know. I'm not like sure if I'm ready to start taking SSRIs, even though I think I might need them. You know what I'm saying?
You have to do what works for you. I'm not gonna. I can. I'm not. I mean, talk to your doctor and obviously use your own best judgment, and maybe you can find what works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it probably. I've heard in most cases it takes a few tries of different medications before you find something that actually works. But I don't know. It was kind of weird to me that like it was just so easily thrown at me. Like I just said like, yeah, no, I've been pretty fucking bummed lately, and they're like, "Ooh, you want Lexapro?"
I mean, they just keep pushing medication, the doctors, and I guess that's a negative type of thing, you know?
Yeah, because it's like the medication can probably be beneficial for sure, but to just like, without really even saying anything about it, you're just like, "Ooh, you want to try this? I've heard it can help."
They used to do that with ADHD and Adderall and Ritalin.
Yeah. Growing up, I saw so many kids with like Adderall prescriptions. Totally, fucking, just giving kids cocaine.
And just because somebody doesn't fit into the structured, like, oh, I'm able to read a book and take a test, doesn't mean they can't be like beautiful members of our society. Look, I mean, I sucked at school, but I'm contributing to the society in my artistic way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there are people out there that like genuinely get something out of your content video, so I would say you're contributing something to society for sure.
I'm partially joking, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I was being sincere. Welcome to the Sincere Podcast, where we only give our most sincere feelings about the South African problem. We're here with special guest Andrew Kowalski.
Oh, no, that's fine.
I forget. You don't care
At this
if
point,
I.
everybody knows my name.
Yeah. Oh, do you want? I can bleep out the your
Oh,
last.
it's fine. At this point, everybody knows my name anyway, so I might as well just go by it.
I couldn't remember if you actually had it like on your YouTube channel or not.
I don't. But that's okay.
I'll still bleep it out for you, buddy. I don't want to add.
Keep it. Keep it. I want you to keep it.
All right, sick. Okay, it's done. It's in there. I got the coal shovelers in my podcast. I got an engine room of burly Irishmen shoveling coal to fuel my podcast equipment. And they save all the tape, and I told them to keep it in. I left a note there.
Awesome.
Let's see here on my notes. So yeah, wait, you were. Is there more you wanted to talk about with psychiatry and stuff? Like how you said you've been interested in it lately.
I just go to weekly CBT psychiatry appointments, and I've learned a lot about myself and about like why I am the way I am, and I'm just really fascinated by it. I enjoy my sessions,
So what does the CBT stand for?
Cognitive behavioral therapy, meaning, you talk rather than take medication. But I take medication too.
Yeah, of course. So like, what would be the difference, like besides like a normal therapist? Well, you said you just like talk about what like makes you tick, kind of like the reason why you do what you do.
Yeah, I want to think of an example. So pretty much, I get frustrated at home, and I get delusions. But I found that the reason I get the delusions is because my emotions overtake me, and this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Like
Detail.
Stuff that's out of your control taking over, and it's making you not act kind of right. Do you, when you're having like your kind of like I guess I don't know, for lack of better, like an episode like where you're like really like kind of experiencing the worst of your symptoms, like, can you tell while it's going on, or is it like later on you're like, whoa, that was crazy?
Later on. It feels real to me at the moment.
Gotcha. Interesting.
It feels really real, and that's why it can be scary, and you might need a hospitalization. Say you're like completely believing something, it really scary. It's not good.
Yeah, no, understandably so. That would be like what would be an example of like
okay.
Go ahead.
So basically, like I'll get delusions that my parents abused me as a child in the same house as them, and you're getting those delusions. It's not a good. It's a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like just like completely remembering things like differently than they happened.
You're just having, I don't want to call them fantasies, but fake thoughts. Like, I mean, I believe them, but thoughts that aren't real, fiction. You know what I mean?
Right. So like at a certain point, can you be like, oh, that was a delusional thought, or is it like always kind of like unclear?
My CBT psychiatrist helps me recognize it. Like, he's like, all right, so you have agitation and frustrations with your parents, and it turns into raw emotion, and that's the reason you get these thoughts. And then obviously my other psychiatrist prescribes medication for it, so I'm in therapy for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. Well, I hope that your CBT guy continues to help you, because that seems like a constructive way to deal with that. For sure. Cell Waters fighting his demons one day at a time.
Thank you.
Oh shit, that was another bomb that went off by the Russian bots. We're still under attack. We're losing people every day. Moving on to the next segment. I found it's a song idea generator online, because I know in your videos a lot you come up with like these funny ass songs and shit. So I thought we'll use the song generator, come up with an idea, and then do like a 10-second little lick of a song.
All right.
Wonder if should I do background music with this? Let's see what I got here. That's Cowboy Bebop. That's a different thing. That's the Mortal Kombat theme song.
Jewish niggas.
That's not music. Yeah, I'll just use that. That works. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right from... Okay, this generator is awful. This one says, right from the persona of the pilot of your airplane. Not gonna do that. A lot of these... You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Alright, so you're writing from the perspective of the pilot of your airplane.
No, let's not do the music. The music's bad.
Yeah, you're right. Just no music. Acapella. Hit it.
I'm flying on a plane, cruising through the clouds. There are people that I'm taking here to there, taking them everywhere. And I love my crew. They are really true. Flying a plane, flying a plane. I don't know.
Very solid. Very solid. Okay, wait. Yo, this generator ain't too bad. All right, mine is a mistake / action you can never fix, but you wish you could. All right. I made a mistake.
Oh yeah.
And I wish I could take it back. Girl, I made a mistake, and I wish I could take it back. I hurt you so bad, and I meant to love you so good, and now you won't take me back, 'cause I can't take that thing I said back. Yo, girl, I'm sorry I said you got a busted face, 'cause I actually think it's not that bad in the proper lighting if you got makeup on. Girl, take me back. There you go. You want to hit another one?
I think we entertain the fans with our singing for the day, you know.
All right, yeah, dude. That's funny. Let's see here. Do you have anything on your mind? Anything else on your mind you wanted to get out?
I mean, just feel free to just throw out anything. I can go back to my blog and look at ideas if you got nothing. But if you have any questions, throw them out there.
Let's see.
Look at my blog too.
Let's see here. Let me rack my brain because I kind of ran out of notes again. I'm always running out of notes. I got another article here that supposedly Disney and Nestle are pulling ads from YouTube because of the whole like Elsa Gate type shit, like the weird like kid cartoon thing where it's like, did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this.
So this has been happening for a while, I guess, and I think they're finally starting to crack down on it. But basically, for one reason or another, there's like a lot of these videos popping out where like they're like not even real animations. Like someone obviously made like an animation template and would just like code random things to drop in so these videos could be uploaded consistently. But it would just be like weird Disney characters like doing weird stuff. Like not necessarily like sexual, but like maybe like it would be like Spider-Man stabbing Elsa and then pooping on her, and like that would be the video, like crudely animated of course, but like these were just getting put in like YouTube kid recommendations and getting like millions of views because it's like if a parent just leaves their kid with the YouTube app and then it's just like going to related video after related video, eventually it would end up on these very weird kind of like just like not even video anime, like it's hard to explain. You'd have to like see one of these like videos to understand like how like not like human made they are, but they were making a lot of ad revenue off of them, and there was like people thinking there's other reasons for this being put in there, but like I guess Disney and Nestle said can't be giving you our bucks anymore, dude.
I mean, the videos sound awful, but I don't believe they should. I don't believe Disney and Nestle should withdraw from YouTube, and I don't believe they should censor those videos either. I believe because I say that because my channel sometimes has a tendency to be controversial, and if they start banning these type of videos, they'll start banning my type of videos too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that for sure, but I think this might be a little bit different than censorship because of how these videos are not like even really videos. They're just kind of like I said, like templates that were coded in with the intention of being shown to like children specifically for the exploiting the platform, and then therefore also exploiting children in a way. So I think it's kind of slightly different, but I get what you're saying in that YouTube could use this to start censoring other stuff, which I believe to be true. I actually, in fact, got an email the other day from the YouTube network I'm signed to, like the MCN, and they sent me an email saying that YouTube's changing their strike system to where, let me see if I can find it, but it seems a little bit more like worse than, because I used to get strikes on my account like every now and then for copyright music or for like whatever. I've had videos pulled down because apparently they break the community guidelines, and then later it turned out they didn't. But I'm going to see if I can find the email now. But it seems like they're changing the strike system so they can kind of punish channels more easily that they would like to, if you know what I'm saying.
Terrible, but yeah, I hate that. And didn't they ban this guy Alex Jones from Twitter, Facebook? So he's basically banned from the internet for being.
Yeah, dude, good old Alex Jones. I like Alex Jones. Like he's a fucking nut, and he's definitely like just a shill or whatever. But like he's fucking funny. I don't think he should be banned from the internet at all. Like that's people that celebrated that are celebrating like the end of free speech. Like nobody, that's insane that people, because people were like cheering that on, you know.
I feel like it should be like the telephone. You pick up the telephone, you can call whoever you want. If you go too far, there can be consequences, but they shouldn't censor people. They shouldn't ban people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
The people that are viewing Alex Jones know what they're getting themselves into. You know?
Yeah, there's also, I also read recently that YouTube is no longer going to be recommending conspiracy videos, like in their recommendations. So if you were like watching a 9/11 conspiracy video, the recommended videos are not going to be other conspiracy videos now.
Yeah,
which is more control of content, which is just
it's like a dystop. This is like dystopian internet, you know?
Yeah, in this post-apocalyptic world, YouTube is getting more dystopian. 1984 and shit. But yeah, they also tried to spin that like it was a positive thing. They were like, "Oh, it's so we can like not recommend videos that are like." Maybe they were like trying to say like videos where it's like somebody promoting like a miracle drug or some bullshit phony health science thing, and it's like, no, you're just gonna use that to ban like Alex Jones type videos or like people actually looking into stuff for like why would you discourage people from questioning things? Especially if we currently live in a society where like one of the biggest news stories is that some dude completely faked a hate crime. Like, why would you not want people... I don't get it. I know why, if you were controlling a society, you wouldn't want that happening, but come on. Come on, can't we get along?
Without a doubt.
What would you do? What would be your first course of action as president?
My first course of action as president? I don't like to get into politics, so but probably... environment, because it seems like that could get apocalyptic. Not to say that our society isn't apocalyptic already, but
yeah, we're it's like Fallout 3 out here, dude. We got
yeah, exactly.
We got Death Stalkers going around. It's like that Cloverfield sequel with John Goodman.
Maybe help people. Maybe do something about people with mental health too. You know, if increase resources.
That would be. I feel like that would be a good platform for you. Get fucking rights for people with mental illness. Get them more access to fucking drugs. Get them fucking you get a free big blunt if you got Parkinson's.
Maybe be like an advocate and one of these like mental illness spokespeople. You know.
Yeah, I heard.
People the right word.
I heard. I think it was on another podcast, but I heard. Have you ever heard of bum fights? It was like a thing back in the day. Apparently, a dude that was on bum fights, like one of the homeless dudes that was on bum fights, eventually cleaned up his act and became a lawyer that advocated for homeless people rights.
Great.
And I think later on he died in an accident or something. But that's pretty cool. He managed to turn that around and actually go out and help other homeless people. That used to be a thing. I feel like a lot of like messing with homeless people was like a humor of the early 2000s, because there was also the bum hunter, the guy that like dressed up like Steve Irwin was the bum hunter.
Don't they say a lot of homeless people suffer from mental illness? And I mean, most of them, right?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, especially when you like go to New York City, and a lot of those like kind of far out there people, they're usually gone off of some mental issue that they're not getting help for, and they're just kind of out there by themselves, which sounds like hell. Sounds horrible.
It does sound like hell. Type of people.
I've definitely met a fair share of those. I used to hang out on the streets downtown playing guitar, and then
it can also be pretty scary. I mean, not to be judgmental, but they can be pretty scary too, like unpredictable. So you know what I mean. You gotta proceed with caution around like some you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. And I've heard like if you are homeless, you're pretty protective of your things. Like you're always like sleeping with one eye open, because you don't know who's just gonna run up on you and fucking try and take your shit. So you always got to be defensive as hell, which makes sense.
Exactly.
I don't think I could fucking be homeless. I think I'd go nuts. I'd be like, dude, fuck.
I mean, we really, our country should really do something about the homeless. Try to get them in better environments. I mean, it's just horrible.
Should fucking, I don't know. Give him a fucking start making big dorms for homeless crazy people, and then film it for reality TV, and it'll be great. And you get what you
Get a
need.
lot of,
You get
a lot of money.
Yeah, you get what you need out of it, and they get a place to stay, and possibly
Without a doubt.
they become famous. The real world reboot where it's all homeless people.
Pretty entertaining.
I love the fucking the like I like the homeless like kids that are just homeless because they're like we're like like crust punks. You heard of like crust punks, where it's like kids that probably came from not a terrible background that are just like, oh, I've decided to become homeless, and now I travel along with my dreadlocked white girlfriend. We're in our pit bull, and we drift town to town so we can drink Mickey's warm in a paper bag outside of 7-Eleven.
Those kind of people, I don't know.
You think that it's just like a giving up thing, or because I'm sure to them they're like, yeah, man, it's like real freeing, man, to like just sit on the street all day drinking fucking swill.
Yeah, I mean, imagine them like 5 to 10 years. They have to explain that to a job interviewer. Like, what have you been doing for the?
Yeah, there's a little gap here. Oh yeah, sorry, dude, I was a crust punk. My bad. I was really into crust punk mentality, and I'm better now. I'm a normal guy.
I have a big gap. Maybe that'll be the explanation I use on the interviews. Yeah, that was a crust punk.
Yeah, dude, I was like actually really cool. The dude's, oh, sick, dude, that's nice. Actually, dude, you are sick, so we gotta hire you. We have a policy that if you're like cooler than me, you're hired. Have you ever had a job interview with someone that you're like, you shouldn't be a manager? Like someone
Absolutely.
with like no confidence at all, and it's like you almost like feel like, do I need to help you through the interview? Like they're just like shuffling through papers like, I have something here for you. I have more questions, I think.
Especially when you work at restaurants and supermarkets and clothing stores, you kind of feel like you're. I mean, I could be grandiose at times, but sometimes I felt like I was more intelligent and more capable in a lot of ways than a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're working at like grocery stores and shit, yeah, you're definitely probably not bottom tier. There's always somebody there's always definitely a few people. Like when I worked at a grocery store called the Fresh Market, which is like a kind of knockoff Whole Foods. And I remember this fucking big dude that worked there I would go on smoke break, and he'd come out, and like he would always just like talk about the stupidest shit. Like he'd be like, yo, dude, I just went to fucking Warped Tour and saw Stained. Yo, and he'd be like, yo, dude, listen to this song, and it's like the worst like hardcore like Warped Tour type band, and he's just like playing it out of his phone speaker, and he's like, dude, this song changed my life.
Oh, without a doubt.
And it's like, oh my god, man, I'm just trying to fucking take a break. You're fucking making it hard. But that shit's always funny though. I always look back at stuff like that. It might be annoying in the moment, but then you're like, oh, that dude is funny. What was going on with that guy?
Exactly. You interact with a lot of interesting people at supermarket jobs for sure.
Yeah, like any of the backroom people. Like, there was a guy I worked with. He was like an older dude who, like, I guess he was a pilot at one point, like in his youth, but I guess he had some accident where he got fucking knocked on the head because he wasn't like all there anymore. But like he always said the funniest shit, man. Like always just like what he was like telling me a story about his fucking childhood friend, and like his dad being like, yeah, you gotta go fuck her or something. There was something where his last name sounded like, oh, his buddy. Okay, Now I remember the story. It was his buddy's last name was Dickerson. And he's like, yeah, my buddy's dad. He's like, yeah, you gotta go out and Dickerson. Like, he's just always telling these fucking inane stories in his, like, fucking menthol cigarette voice. It's pretty funny. Funny.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad because you know they want to interact on a high level, but since they like hit their head and damage their brain, it's like they're probably so frustrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I've always felt super bad for dude because it's like I know you were like a pilot at one point, and now you're just like kind of like not all there, and you're like having to work fucking produce at a goddamn grocery store.
Fresh produce. Get it out quick. Yo, is there mold on that? Get it the fuck out of here. You're fired. Let's create a sitcom about the supermarket. Will be called Fresh Produce.
You know what's funny? I think there is like an ABC sitcom right now that's supposed to be like Walmart.
20 items or less or something like that. Isn't that what it's called?
I think so. It's like they work at like not Walmart, but it's like obviously Walmart. Like what are sitcoms now that people aren't really watching network television? I guess it'd probably be that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very entertaining. I saw what you were talking about. Like they set up like soda bottles and they were doing bowling. And they're like, oh, the manager, we're bowling with soda bottles. You know?
That's such a fucking like lame trope, like the lazy grocery store workers. Of course, I feel like I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that before.
Exactly.
You remember Employee of the Month with Dane Cook?
Oh, that's the one I was talking about. I'm sorry. I was talking about Employee of the Month.
They're all the same. I don't know.
They're all the same.
But Employee of the Month is such a funny movie for like just to look back at and be like, ugh.
Exactly.
Like, look at Dane Cook now. He's like 47 and he's dating like a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, that is pretty creepy when you think about it.
Well, I saw a picture of like him, like they're at like a beach and he's like kissing her, and it's just like this, like Dane Cook looks horrible now, and he's just like kissing this young woman, like a fish. It's like, oh
yeah.
She's getting paid though. It's all right.
Exactly. It's okay. She's getting paid.
She's good. She gets to hear Dane Cook's material all the time. It's just jokes from 2007 about him uppercutting someone in the pussy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not really. Oh, okay.
You're good, dude.
No, I'm just being silly. I don't know. So but let me bring something.
Hit me with it while I hit this.
I'm okay.
Or no, take your time though. Of course, no pressure, dude.
I know. So what do you like? Have you seen the pictures I've drawn with pastels and crayons? Have you seen them?
No. What's this?
I'll send you the link. I've actually been drawing and creating like drawings. I don't know if you've seen them, but I'll send you the link.
I've seen them in your videos. Have you thought of like maybe setting up an Etsy for those? I feel like people would probably buy them.
People, I mean, I know there are people that spend days, weeks, months on drawings. I spend like 10 minutes on them.
Well, see,
but
that's art's subjective anyway. So I feel like I think like it's like your art is a specific type of art, and I think people that do enjoy your videos, I think you'd get some people buying them for sure if you just like set up an Etsy page. You could have a little bit of side income maybe.
Yeah, so maybe I can sell some of them. That's a good idea. Thank you very much for the suggestion.
Oh, no problem, dude. Hope that works out for you. And if Cell Waters is selling his art on Etsy, go ahead and buy it in the future. Go check it out. If it's up. If it's not, no pressure.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, if it's not, yeah, whatever.
It's all the same. Actually, can you put the link to my my art in the podcast video if you don't mind?
Yeah,
no pressure.
I'll put it in the description for sure. So if you want to check out Cell Waters' art, go in the description. There'll be a link there.
Thanks. Okay, so have you seen the webcam? I bought a webcam. I made some live streams with that.
Yeah, I saw you started doing streams. How did those go?
Went well for a while, but then people would join my channel and say controversial things and get me and attempted to get me in trouble. So I had to block people and stop doing them. I guess I could.
It would just be like really, really, yeah, just like stressful to get that going because you don't want someone to come in and just. I think you can do like you can set like a delayed chat or something, where you can it comes in delayed or you can approve people. I don't know. I think you can set up a whitelisting thing where people have to apply to be a commenter or whatever.
That's too much work, though. I'll just disable comments or something like that if I do them in the future.
For sure, dude. For sure. But so were you gonna link me to your art there, or
I'll do that right now.
Did you want to discuss anything about it? You want to talk about it?
Just having fun doing it. There's really nothing to talk about unless you have something to talk about.
I always wish I could draw, but like I feel like I suck at it, so I never do it.
I suck at it. Just what you have to do if you want to get good at something is just do it, and you'll eventually get good if you keep doing it over and over again. Do what you enjoy doing.
Yeah, I always think about the way you can like really just give yourself a skill if you spend however many hours at it, and then it's like, yeah, dude, I'll totally do that. Like the amount of times I've tried to learn how to code, and then I'm like, nah, never mind. That's too much work.
My advice for people out there: pursue what you're passionate about. Keep putting hard work into what you're passionate about, and eventually you'll get really good at it.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking solid advice right there. From Cell Waters, Andrew the man. He's thick. He's lit. He's a queen.
Like Freddie Mercury, yes, but not. I don't know. But like Freddie Mercury, sort of. Like with his energy.
Yeah, I'm Freddie Mercury, sort of. Did you know that that movie came out, the biopic on him? Did you see that?
I didn't see Bohemian Rhapsody, but I heard it was good.
Really? It was like years ago. Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to like play him in a biopic, and it was supposed to be like a real gritty retelling, like R-rated movie about Freddie Mercury. And then I guess the band, like the surviving band members of Queen, were like, no, we're not doing that. And I think this is what eventually became of that, was what just came out.
I mean, great rock band, charismatic and energetic frontman, great singer. So I like Queen very much.
Yeah, I've been getting into who the fuck? I got an Aha record that's pretty good. The band that does that Take On Me song.
Take On Me, yeah.
Yeah, they actually like their other music's pretty fucking good too. A lot of those, a lot of those like new age bands that have like one hit wonders, you're like, oh yeah, this song's good, and it's like if you actually listen to their other songs too, it's like, yo, good shit.
This should be a new idea for the show. You'll suggest something like listen to Aha, and I'll say I should check it out, but have no intention of ever checking it out.
Yeah, the segment's called "Yeah, I'll check it out." Welcome to "Yeah, I'll check it out" on OYC. Yo, dude, have you seen did you ever see the Independence Day remake?
I'll check it out. I hear it's good, right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I watched Poltergeist for the first time, so like if you ever want something good to watch,
I'll check it out, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
cool.
I was also I was listening to Beethoven, and if you like classical music, you should check out Beethoven.
Yeah, maybe I will. I might check out Beethoven. I hear he's really good.
Yeah, is there anything you would want me to check out?
Maybe you should check out my art. I hear it's really good. And my videos, all of them.
No, I will not check it out. Goodbye.
Very good. Thank you.
But yeah, seriously, I think people would buy your art looking at it. I think it's like a specific, like it coming from you and being a specific kind of style. I think people would buy this. I think you could sell it. You could probably sell it like, I don't know. I know the hard part would be the shipping, because you would have to, ship everything out at the post office, and I don't know how accessible the post office is to you, but You could always just use the drop boxes too. You don't necessarily even have to go into a post office.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for the tips. I'll consider it. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you played any good video games lately?
I have not played video games in I feel like forever, but I know everybody's playing this Apex game. This is the new battle royale game everybody's playing. The Apex Legends. Apex Legends. It's supposed
Cool.
It's supposed to be like the it's supposed to be like Fortnite and Overwatch and shit. Every video games now is just like, oh, it's like X and Y and Z put together. It's like, all right, cool, whatever, sick.
Have you watched any of the Marvel movies? Like, are you excited for Endgame coming out this? Not really into Marvel.
I am not super into Marvel, but it's called Endgame? Is that a superhero?
It's the sequel to Avengers Infinity War.
Okay, yeah. It's like the second part of that.
Yeah, it should be pretty entertaining. They have a good track record with their movies, so I recommend getting into them.
See, I thought you said Avengers Endgame, and I was like, what is it like? They're trying not to say the N-word the whole time?
I don't know.
Would you rather like have to shout the N-word every time you take a piss, or have slightly damp hands all the time?
I probably have a different answer on like for the off the record and on the record. Let's put it that way.
I would I'd pick the N-word. I don't like damp hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just say it. I just have a Bane mask on so that when I say it, it like comes out like auto-tuned as a different word. Like a voice scrambler. You gotta wear your voice scrambler when you go pee at public. You don't want to get race war started, you know.
I want to get beat up. That would be bad.
Then
especially when you're in East New York.
Yeah, in East New York, it would be a real real hate crime.
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Let's see here.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna like get into the topic of coffee, but it's fairly uninteresting. So maybe
hit me with that coffee talk. What do you gotta say about that coffee bean?
Drinking like an entire pot of coffee in the morning, and I think that's like 12 cups, and it's just really absurd. I got to stop drinking coffee.
Damn, dude, you're drinking 12 cups of coffee in the morning? Damn, son.
Bad. It's kind of like your cigarette addiction, but
yeah, yeah. No, I'd say definitely similar caffeine and nicotine. They also sound similar, but yeah, that's fucking nuts. That doesn't like make you feel like, does that like give you like jitters or problems with sleeping?
It does. Sometimes my heart starts freaking out. It's bad. It's really bad, and I just can't stop. You know what I mean?
You try weaning off with like decaf, like maybe replace like 6 of the coffees with decaf, and then gradually do more and more decaf.
That's what I'm gonna try doing.
That might not be a bad idea. It's like the patch. Just going on decaf.
I like how coffee became like my downfall. Like, oh my god, I lost everything to coffee.
I can't believe I lost it all.
Like Artie Lang, but
yeah, you're the Artie Lang of coffee. You're gonna have like a mess. Your lips are gonna be inflamed from all the hot coffee. You're gonna have like Artie Lang lips instead of your nose.
Where are you located at Tyler? I'm Long Island, New York. It's really a beautiful day today. It's like 50. So I'm gonna after we end this podcast, I'm gonna take a beautiful walk around the neighborhood.
Hell yeah, dude! You enjoy that walk. It's actually it's been kind of shitty here. It's been like raining and snowing sort of, but I'm down in Richmond, Virginia, like 6 hours down from you. 6.5, I'd say.
Virginia, so it's a nice place.
Yeah, no, dude, very mild weather. I enjoy it. I think because I live right outside of the city in the suburbs, but it is like a 10-minute drive to the city. And Richmond's like a small enough city to where it doesn't feel suffocating, but you can still get a lot of city stuff going on. And I enjoy it very much. We got some decent music venues. I saw John Mouse last week, the fucking man himself, John Mouse, good guy. Saw him at the Broadberry. Ran into a few people that recognized me. Shout out to those fellas. Thanks for saying hi. It was a really good show. John Mouse, good guy. Got to scream a lot. I know you're probably not familiar with John Mouse, but I think you would enjoy him. He's like kind of a... It's like he's like electric music, but it's more like kind of like gothic 80s. And what he does for his live show is he just plays his backing track and kind of screams over his music and hits himself in the head. And it's real fun. It's real fun music.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, definitely check out. Yeah, check it out. Definitely go check out John Mouse's live stuff where he's hitting himself in the head and screaming. It's good stuff. But what have you ever been to? Have you ever been to a good live show? Like, have you ever been to concerts? Is that something that you've ever?
Okay, I'm gonna go through the concerts I've been to. When I was in elementary school, my dad took me to Green Day at Jones Beach.
Dude, hell yes. That's like perfect age for like Green Day too. I remember.
I actually hated it. And I was putting in the earplugs. I'm like, this is too loud. But I liked Green Day's music, but I hated how loud it was.
Yeah. It's always totally surprising how much it's like everybody should be wearing earplugs of these things, but you kind of skirt past it. But go ahead, sorry.
2007, I saw Bob Dylan at Jones Beach. He didn't even sound the songs didn't even sound the same. His voice was horrible. Terrible concert, Bob Dylan.
Terrible that Bob Dylan. I think I remember you telling me about that on a previous podcast. That he's just like Bob Dylan and Bob Dylan.
And Roger Waters, The Wall, and Beach Boys were the only other ones I've seen.
Do the Beach Boys still hold up?
They weren't doing. We probably talked about this, but they weren't doing any of the work. It was like all these backing musicians, and they were just dancing around on stage. But it was really good. They had fun songs.
Yeah, no, I feel like Beach Boys would be a fun show. That would just be a solidly fun show.
It was fun. Their songs were really good, but they weren't doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were just laying back in the pocket. They're like, we're too old for this. We're gonna lay back in the pocket. If you're a drummer, would you be a pocket drummer, or would you be fucking nuts? Would you be like a fucking John Bonham slapping?
I think everybody wants to be a John Bonham, but
it's more respectable to play in the pocket.
That's true.
Hold everything up. I like. I think Keith Moon's also pretty cool. He was also a wild boy, wild stallion. Didn't play with a hi-hat. One of the few drummers I've ever heard that doesn't play with a hi-hat. If you had to say what rock star I look like, do you think I look like Keith Moon? Keith Moon, let's see. Keith.
They said I look like Keith Moon.
I'm gonna look.
A young Keith Moon.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Holy shit, yeah.
That.
Dude,
yeah, I guess so.
I'm just gonna make the podcast image your face next to Keith Moon's face. It's like here, I'll send you it right now. This one is like the closest I could see probably.
Yeah, I do look like Keith Moon a little bit.
Yo, dude, you know what you gotta do? Pick up those skins. Your kid turns out you're Keith Moon's son, even though that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
You died in like 78. You were born in 78.
87. When were you born? What year? I was born July 25th, 1987.
I was born May 12th, 1996. I was born on Mother's Day.
Oh, I'm 9 years older than you. You come across very intelligent, very sophisticated. So I think you come across very intelligent.
Thank you. I think I'm fucking stupid, but thank you. Yeah, I'm about to be 23 this year, which it's like I'm still eking out those early 20s, moving closer and closer to oblivion, though, as they say. I'm glad I'm not fucking. You know what age I'm glad I'm not though is 15. 15's a rough year.
Middle and high school suck. Those are horrible years.
Yeah, if you liked those years, you're probably not having much fun right now. But you probably had a blast back then.
Exactly. Bad childhoods motivate you as an adult, I guess.
Yeah, they motivate you or they completely crumble you.
For me, they completely crumbled me, but I'm going to rise from the ashes and become a success. You know what I mean?
You're the fucking phoenix, dude. You're the fucking phoenix.
Exactly.
What were we just talking about?
I look like Keith Moon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you do.
I look like Sid Barrett, too. Check out Sid Barrett, too.
Yeah, let's see that. Damn, dude. Fucking Keith Moon and Sid Barrett must have had quaalude gay sex back in the day. Saved their sperm until 1987, and then you came.
The love child of Keith Moon and Sid Barrett.
Yeah, they mixed their coon together, put it in a freezer, and then inseminate. And then Sid Barrett, in 1987, inseminated Yoko Ono, and that's how you came to be. That's how a beautiful Andrew was born.
Yep, without a doubt.
That's correct. Look, this is the image of Sid Barrett. I guess in his later years.
He put on a lot of weight. He shaved his head.
Yeah, dude. Looks completely different.
That's what I mean. They make it like it was like a nervous breakdown, but that's what happens when you get older too. You start to not look as good, you know.
Yeah, it's just a middle-aged guy.
It's a middle-aged dude, a normal middle-aged dude, you know.
Look, so he was disgusting. He came in and he was so gross. I was puking everywhere.
It's just age, you know.
It's Roger Waters' account. I was puking. I was so sick when I saw him. It was so gross. I said, "Where are you, Sid? Are you in there?" We made it to an hour and 13, which is good.
Like you can wrap up any time. I'm still down to talk until for the time being. So whatever you want to do.
Yeah, we'll keep riding. I'm just like trying to fucking think of fun, cool, hip things to talk about. And I'm blanking. But this gun ain't blanked.
So what do you think of Sacha Baron Cohen? What do you think of his comedy?
I think he's commendable. I like him a lot. A lot of his shit is just really good. The commitment he had to doing the like characters and public stuff. Like there's a scene in Borat at the end where like they're making out in like a ring at like a really southern event, and like they did it like 2 different times because people start like rioting basically when they see these 2 grown men kissing, because it's like the Deep South in like 2006 or whatever, and like they almost like they had to have like a whole escape tunnel and shit. And yeah, I think when you're committed to the point of knowing you might get brutally murdered for your bit, I respect you a lot.
That is something you have to respect. Just go to like be so committed to your art that exactly.
Yeah, like I want to start filming public stuff again, where I do like kind of Tom Green public bits. But that stuff's so hard to do. Like it just makes you, at least for me, it always made me super nervous to film like, I'm gonna mess with people in public type bits, because you never want to ruin anybody's day either.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons a lot of people don't like Sacha Cohen, because some of his comedy can be very mean spirited and just can be almost like bullying in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But then I'd also say there's like the scene in Borat where he like starts traveling with the 2 like kind of fat frat dudes, and he just like befriends the hell out of them, and it's like, see, that's sweet. He, you know.
No, it's funny, and I see why it's funny, and I laugh, but I could see why people would think he's a little mean too.
Yeah, for sure. And same thing with like Tom Green. It's like they're super funny, but they can always push it to a point where they're like really antagonizing someone, and I still think that's funny, but I think it's just hard to do, and it's not necessarily something you can show to everybody because people might be like, why do you think this is funny?
Exactly.
What do you think of Sacha Baron Cohen?
I like him. I like Borat. That movie especially, and I watched some of the skits on the Ali G show. I'm a fan of Sacha Cohen.
Yeah, I never watched the Ali G show, but I've heard it's very good, and I like the character. Like, I've seen clips. I think the character's funny.
He is funny. The Borat character. The Bruno movie wasn't that great, but the character on the Ali G show is pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't see Bruno's. I think I've only really seen Borat.
That's a good one.
Borat. Yeah, I remember everybody was super, like, obsessed with the one thing from the very nice. Everybody was just saying, very nice. God, that movie's so fucking funny. Like, I haven't watched it in a few years, but I think it probably holds up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, obviously, in a way, do you feel like I play a character on my channel? You know, like a character that's kind of Borat, Dumb and Dumber like, or do you think at times?
Yeah, I would say yes for sure. Because when you're making content on YouTube and stuff, or if you're doing like any kind of comedic type of thing, I feel like you're usually putting on a persona that might still more or less be you, but you're like playing a character. And especially like with the way you upload so frequently, you probably do fall into like doing a specific type of bit. Would you say that is true?
I would love to do it like a Borat, Broken Matt Hardy, Dumb and Dumber like character, but I would also like to do like a serious approach where I'm more myself as well.
I think that would be interesting if you just started like if you tried to like blur the line between the two, but where people have to be like, is this real or is this fake?
Exactly. That's what my YouTube channel's like.
Because I know initially when I found your channel, I was like, because I'm always very skeptical of stuff like, is this being played as a character? And I know, like, I've definitely shown your channel to people, and they're like, is this guy playing a character? And it's like, it's always very fun to have something that rides the line like that. Because I think there's a lot of power in it. You can really get away and do, like, a lot of interesting stuff with it.
Thanks. I mean, if you don't know, I am being dramatic and sensational at times to get attention. So yeah, some of it is put on for the camera.
And that's the interesting part. I like it a lot. I think you got a very unique thing going on, and I think more people should check you out.
Yeah.
More people for sure.
But obviously, I have a severe mental illness, and a lot of the times I'm actually it's actually true or based on truth. You know. Yeah,
and that's also interesting because it's like I don't know. I think it can give people a window into something they don't necessarily know about at all. I think you provide a unique look into your own life, and I commend it, and I support it, and I'll continue to watch it.
Thank you.
You're always welcome on the OYC Podcast.
Are you going to ever be in New York anytime soon? Maybe we could do a podcast in a studio with you and your friends.
I don't have anything planned for New York currently. Like, because I used to go up there a bunch because my girlfriend lived up there, but now she moved down here. But probably in the next year, I'll probably be making my way up there. So we'll work that out. I think it would be cool to do a podcast in person so we don't have to, like, worry about Discord and all this stuff. But
okay, so just keep me updated.
If I'm ever up there, I'll let you know, buddy.
Well, thank you.
And we'll play it out. Do you got any final thoughts? Any more energy you want to get out to the world?
I guess that about does it. I had a great time on the show today, Tyler.
Yes.
I hope you did too.
Yes, I think we did a solid one today. We fucking power bombed it out. Fucking Batista bombed this podcast out.
Batista'd
it out. All right. I'm your host, Tyler, signing off in the post-apocalyptic United States. If there's anybody else out there, come to my bunker and we'll fucking do Molly, dude, and we'll be fucked up. Oh, it's a party. All right, Andrew.
Adios, amigos.
Hell yeah, dude. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
It's no way for a boy born. And what the hell is OnYourComputer? And what the hell is OnYourComputer? Let the white kid say nigga. Let the white kid say nigga. Let the white kid say nigga. Let the white kid say nigga.